Hi, I'm Frascia and Ndichu. Are you struggling to decide on what to do after high school? You're not alone, and I'm here to make the process of figuring out easier for you. Choosing a career can be quite overwhelming, and even after completing high school and getting your results, it doesn't make it any easier. Some of us already know what they want to do after school. Some of us have already had the career that they wanted since primary school, if you're like me, and others choose after they have completed schooling. Now, however you make that decision, you end up with something that you have to do for the rest of your life. Now, in this video, I am going to give you a little bit of tips and questions on how what to ask when choosing a career within yourself and with the establishments that you intend to work with in future, whether it's to study or to work. Before we dive in, please hit subscribe so that this video can get to a lot more people, because YouTube will recommend by your simple acts of subscribing and ringing that notification bell so that you never miss an upload from this channel as we continue to decide on careers that we will love. Have you heard there are people in this life who decide on a course, they do it complete, and they actually excel in their studies. But once in the job market, something in them turns off, like something switch. And you will find that they are working, yes, they're doing their jobs pretty well, but they're not content, and they end up trying to find pleasures in other things. You're supposed to enjoy life, but when you're trying to distract yourself from your job, you find your job hectic, and stressful and unbearable enough for you to drown yourself in other pleasures that aren't really helpful to you or to your career. It means for some reason you did end up doing a career you don't love, and therefore you're just grinding because you must, and you have probably a family to feed and a life to continue with, and you're probably finding that process of pivoting from that career a bit hard. Now, we will get to more on how to pivot after you have already maybe completed school, or you just went to your first internship and you feel like this is not the place for me. We will get into that video. But today, let us dive into the video where we get to decide on which career to do and that we love and enjoy doing. And first things first, assess your strength, your interests, and your skills. You see, the moment you identify what your strengths are, you will be able to know how long can I keep up? And how long can I do this? Can I tire doing this? Also, find out what are your interests, something that intrigues you, something that you find, I can do this all day, I can do this all year long, and I won't get tired. And not just get tired, you want to learn more. Like, what can I do exemplarily here in this particular part? Something that interests you. You know, when something piques your interest, like a cat. You see, a cat will, if you swing a string to a cat, they will chase it. But once you stop swinging it, the cat will lose interest. Now, with careers, you want to assume that that string for you never stops. You want to choose a career that keeps that interest for as long as you are in the industry. Even after retirement, you will not feel tired of making sure that you are actually doing what you love doing. So, choose your interest or assess your interests, strength, and skills. And how do I really get to do that? Don't worry. I know those words may sound big, but honestly, they are not. It's just a trick thing. You see, the way you did your KCSE and you found some questions like, I know this, and then you ended up putting the wrong answer. Well, you thought you knew what the answer was. This is one of those things, because skill sounds easy, interest sound easy, and even strength, you know where your strengths are. But here are some questions to ask yourself when answering this question for yourself so that you can get to choose a career that you love. Which subject did you enjoy doing, or do you enjoy doing? Once you have come up with what those subjects are, what kind of hobbies like make you lose track of time? Like I said, something that you will do today, tomorrow, whether or not it brings the financial aspect of it. Of course, we're doing career so that we can be able to monetize it. Because again, that's why you want to get into the job market, get paid for what you love doing. So you have to be able to identify, but that first, it is something that makes you lose track of time. that you will not be entering the job market and taking whatever you're given. You will be entering job market to give value, and you're compensated properly for it. So, after you have identified what hobbies make you lose track of time, it is also very important that to make sure that you are naturally good at whatever that particular thing is. Are you good at solving problems? Are you good at are you good at being creative? If you are a creative, and I mean that from being an artist, an actress, a content creator, whatever it is, are you a good creative? Are you good at helping others? Because also you have to, if when you're looking at careers, you have to look at all aspects of things. Because if you enjoy these things in that way, then you're going to make a career. For example, do you enjoy doing math or solving puzzles or even being able to solve those complex things? Consider a career in accounting, engineering, and things like data analytics, because those are things that are complex. And if you enjoy solving such things, such puzzles, then you can enjoy careers in probably in accounting, engineering, data analytics, because those are things that require quite attentiveness and some skills to them. Then, if you enjoy artistic things like arts, you want to consider a career in things like graphic designs and fashion industry and beauty and writing or even performing arts, because all these things are things that it's an art. It's an art that you must have something, an inkling in you wants you to keep creating, being inventive, being, all these things. You want to be able to enjoy that career that you enjoy doing now. Now that we have figured out on how to go about knowing what our strengths are, our interests, and even our skills, now let's go to the part of the interesting part that might actually change the game for you going forward. So look into something like research industries and careers, because you might have a hobby, but then how does the industry receive it? How is that career looking like if in case you end up choosing that particular thing? Once you know your interest, dive into research. Do a proper research that will make sure that you are not absent, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to work in an industry, and that industry must be able to receive your talent, your that hobby must be monetizable or must fit into a certain industry or career path in general. So a few questions to ask yourself here is, what qualifications are needed in this particular career that I want? Because, for example, and how can I begin if in case I don't fit into that regular, if I have to go direct to a degree, if I'll start at a diploma and move upwards from there, if I'll begin from a certificate and all the way up to even a master's or even a PhD, what are the grades required? Once you have identified what qualifications are needed to pursue that career, what does that day in a career of this love of mine, this talent, this strength, these skills, what does a day in this career look like? You need to ask that question for yourself and answer it in honesty. Okay? Don't do it because someone else did it. What does a day in the life of this person in the career look like? Once you have identified what does that day looks like and you love it, how about, is the industry shrinking or growing? Because you might love a career, but then that industry is shrinking. And today you can tell with technology today, it's an amazing adventure because, hey, let me tell you, people are grinding out here after choosing careers that you know, they have been phased out. In fact, I will give an example that I get asked questions like of courses that were phased out a long time ago. Like someone asking a course that, you remember when people used to finish primary school, like it was class 7 that time, and then you join into a course or something. Those hands-on skills that they used to give. Someone today will finish high school or secondary school and still ask you for that. Now, my advice to that person normally is, this particular career has been incorporated in other careers, has in other courses. Like you can get these skills while pursuing a certain career, but it is no longer an independent course because it's been phased out. Nobody is hiring someone with specifically those qualifications because you need more than that today to fit into the job market. So you have to know if the career you have chosen in the industry, is it growing or shrinking? Because you don't want to again spend time and money investing into school and all that, paying for a course, and then that course ends up not being marketable. Because I have that question a lot: which courses are marketable? That being said, are you interested in technology? This is the moment you find out, okay, what's current? Are you interested in technology? Explore careers in cybersecurity, web development, AI, and research. The moment you are good at these things, there is a 90% chance, and I'm giving it over 80, because if you choose this right, there's a likelihood that you're going to actually excel in this career. So check trends that are available in your interests, because technology is in everything today. I will not tell you to take an ICT course because technology is growing. No, I will tell you that today technology is in everything, including those other careers. Because there's nowhere you're working today and technology isn't incorporated. So you just have to understand the aspect of technology in whichever career that you're taking, unless specifically you want to be, an IT expert and things of that sort. So what are the tools and tips you can use to make this process even much easier? I promise tips, and here they are. Please pay attention, take a pen and paper if you need to write them down, and go over them from time to time to help you figure that out. So, use a career exploration website such as LinkedIn. I say LinkedIn because that's the one I'm using. There are others today, like things like, I think, Onet. Go figure out, explore website like LinkedIn, like such particular website, to understand what careers look like up there, what are the possibilities, what are the jobs looking like here. Attend the webinars, because today there are free webinars online. Um, if you'd like me to make one, I would gladly do it. Please leave it in the comments so that I know that you're interested in such a thing. I will try as much as I can to make it free and invite people to help maybe with that decision. Attend career fairs and, virtual events. Like I said, webinars, career fairs, virtual events that will help you realize or understand your career better, or your interest better, or what can you do to fit into that particular career path. Another thing you need to do is to speak to professionals in your career. Speaking to professional in your career will help you understand what that is like, what that career path is like, the insider information of the job market. The moment you speak to a professional, I'll tell you for free, you have a bigger or a better edge in understanding what that is like, what that field is, and if you fit in, and if you can do it in the long run. Because that's the intention. Choosing a career that you love. I know, including a simple thing such as this particular YouTube channel. It looks easy. The video is, as you can tell, I make my videos as simple as I can. But there are other content creators that are doing elaborate things. You can make it easier for yourself. I make it easier because, of course, I have other things I am doing, and I would love to invest in this particular place even more. But for you to pursue this and full time or anything of that sort, it has to be able to sustain itself. In the meantime, I am putting this information out there for free. Am I getting paid? Not yet. Am I hopeful to start getting paid? Of course I am. In the meantime, I'm doing because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and I can do this for a long time, whether or not I get paid for it. I think putting information to use, putting something you have learned to use, is a way of learning yourself. And this is me learning on this particular platform. And this, I would call it a footprint for me to look into, or someone else to come look into it, and they will find help in whatever it is I am talking about. So the third and the last thing I will be touching on in this video is explore internships. You see, sometimes people don't understand how important internships are, or things like volunteer work into a place or a company, or as a community work, and even to get some experience. You get some hands-on skills, you get experience, real life experience in that desired career of yours. So explore in things like internships and maybe part-time jobs, or maybe volunteer work, with an intention to learn, with an intention not necessarily to get paid, but to learn. You see, 50% of people who complete high school, they get D plus and below. That's a half the group of thousands of high school graduates. Are they doomed to fail? I do not believe that. I can assure you, or rather, I can assure you, I was not in the 48 point something percent that got a C minor. No, I am not. But have I managed to learn and climb through step by step stages to get to where I am today? Yes. And in my next video, like I said, I will be sharing bits and bytes of what I have learned throughout my career as I continue to learn, because I am still continuing to learn, and tell you how you can go about it. If you are a parent and you're wondering now, what do I do with my kid who got this lower grade? I am here for you as well. Hit subscribe, share it with as many as you can to make sure that, this gets out to many people. There is no failure in life, because we cannot all be number ones. And honestly speaking, sometimes the outside experience is what will give you a pathway to a successful life. And I will tell you that sometimes the best way to understand a career, or if to know if something is, to dive in and understand it from the job market. So the moment you get an internship, get a part-time job while schooling, because you can, there's a lot of time, by the way. You're not in school a lot of times, and some people just stay home and do nothing. Explore careers while doing that. Get a part-time job. Try that, and it is going to help you build a portfolio for yourselves, because recommendations from some of these companies will help you that after you graduate, you will not be grinding out here trying to look for jobs. You've already made your own connections. You've already understood what it's like to be in that particular career. You'll not be wondering, where do I submit my CVs and all that. You already have figured that out while still before or while schooling. So gain the real world experience, build a network of people, of mentors and people in the industry, professionals, so that they help you figure that out. It's not as easy, but you can put yourself out there. Inaitwa kujituma. We normally say jitume, enda. Go ask for that part-time job, whether it's paying well or not. Go ask for that internship, whether you get paid or not. Just inform your parents. I'm sure they'll be happy to help. Discover whether the job aligns with your expectations. Because once you have done all these things that we said, first we started by saying assess your interest and your skills and your strengths. Second, we said research the industries and careers. And the third and the last one, we said explore internships, volunteer work, or part-time jobs to help you with these things. So once you have discovered that this is actually what I want, what I need, and it's good for me. If you're thinking of, like, for example, if you're thinking about becoming a teacher, how about going and shadowing that teacher in their class to see how they go about their day, their teaching lessons, see if that's something you would want to do. If you want to be a nurse, a doctor, or something like that, volunteer in your, of course, I'm not telling you to go treat people without qualification. No, volunteer or to go be in that particular. Ask someone, can I shadow you? Ask for a part-time, something to go do in that career, healthcare. See what that looks like for that a person in that particular profession. What about you? Which career are you considering right now? Share in the comment, and I will do my best to ensure that I guide you to the best of my abilities in exploring, and I'll help you choose a career that you love. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to hit subscribe, and don't leave without hitting that notification bell, because it helps me grow and helps you and anybody else who has the interest like you. So let us join into a community that chooses a career that they love doing. See you in the next video, because I really hope that you come.